Hello there, and welcome to Daniel's Infinite Playlist, and welcome to the classic album review section. And today we're going to review a true classic from 1975, or was it 1974? I don't remember, but I'm going to put it here. And that is, of course, Abba's album Arrival. And for those of you, Abba doesn't really need an introduction, does it? But for those who don't know, Abba is a four-piece band from Sweden. Comprised of Agneta, Björn, Benny, and Anni-Frid. They've made themselves a name on the world due to their very straightforward and very melodic and very dramatic pop music, which has been adapted in movies and included in movies and like a lot of things, and Abba really resurgence to fame once again thanks to the compilation Abba Gold, which actually reintroduced Abba to a new generation. That's why especially here in Sweden it's very, very popular to play at least 2 or 3 Abba songs, like when you're out clubbing, and it's really, really cool. And this is the album that really cemented Abba as one of the greatest bands of all time. So yeah, now to the CD unboxing. This is the deluxe version of the Arrival edition. There are, of course, a lot of editions of this album, namely in vinyl, and then there are more remastered versions of this album as well. And here it is. And here is the behind, and it includes both a DVD and also booklet as well, detailing the story behind recording this album. Here it is. I'm just going to show you it all briefly because it's very it is very detail laden due to the recording of this album. I really recommend you buying this version because it has a lot of special stuff. Alright, how is this album musically? Well, musically, this album is very much an album of its time, but what really sets it apart from other music of its time is that it has this fully produced pop sound that is very reminiscent of the 60s wall of sound pop music, but sort of like, how do you say, updated and made even more melodic and sort of like accessible to everyone. And this album actually includes one of the biggest ABBA hits, for example, Dancing Queen, Knowing Me, Knowing You, and Money, 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 which is, yeah, I mean, you can clearly see how great this album is. Musically, and it goes through different strands of pop music from that era as well, and it's also very mired in a very sort of like a baroque tone musically. So how is this album lyrically? Well, lyrically this album is very much a straightforward pop album. It goes through a lot of different euphoric and also sometimes cheeky themes, or for example, like in the song When I Kissed the Teacher, which is a really fun and also showcases the humorous side of ABBA, which has always sort of like been there. But sometimes ABBA can also be just really, really sad and also very, how to say, heartbreaking. For example, like in the song Knowing Me, Knowing You, and also euphoric and ecstatic, for example, like in the song Dancing Queen and all of that. And you could think that despite of the lyrics' own, how do you say, dramatics and all of that, that they don't have any sort of like pull to them, but they do have, and it's just really, really charming to listen to it. And it's a truly well-formed pop sound with great pop lyrics. that are, how do you say, portrayed really beautifully, thanks to Anni-Frid and Agneta's own how do you say, singing as well. So yeah, what do I give this album? Well, I give it a 9 out of 10. It is a true classic of its era, and you can see why a lot of people are starting to discover this album again and see, like the greatness of it all. A lot of people used to associate Abba music with, cheesy sounding music, but now they sort of like have gotten a lot of respect through the years, especially from a lot of new pop music artists as well, who really recognize Abba as an important legacy to a lot of pop music that is going on right now. And it's really interesting to listen to where it all began. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this review. As always, I'm going to put the artist links down below. Abba is available everywhere, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. There are CDs and vinyls that you can get, a lot of different versions. There are deluxe editions and the normal versions. I suggest if you're really a fan, then I suggest you see the deluxe version, because the DVD that includes the special material is actually really interesting to watch through, but otherwise you can get the CD really cheaply in its, like normal editions. And also there are new repressings of the vinyl that supposedly sound really, really great. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this review. Please give a like and subscribe. As always, I'm going to review new albums every Wednesday and classic albums every Saturday. So yeah, please keep an eye out for those, and that's it for me. Enjoy music, enjoy life, people. Vi ses. Hej då!